Hello grade 11 students. Right now I'm going to start with the chemistry. Last year you studied already about chemistry in grade 10, which is for IGCSE. Now this is for grade 11 is the preparation for A-level chemistry. In grade 11 we are going to study AS level, and then in grade 12, middle of grade 11, maybe in the second semester, we are going to learn for the A level until grade 12. In AS level, in this first semester, we are going to focus on different parts of chemistry. There are two parts, which is organic and inorganic. Okay, this chemistry textbook we are going to use for our grade 11 and grade 12. I'm using this recording for explaining in order to have the same explanation in 11S and also in 11P. So this is the textbook that we are using for grade 11 and grade 12. So this is for AS level and for A level. Okay, these are the chapters. This is in AS level, there is a physical chemistry. This is physical chemistry and also inorganic chemistry and also the organic chemistry of AS level. While this one, the other one, this one is for A level. We are studying the AS level. So start from the physical chemistry from topic 1 until topic 11 and also continue with topic 12 until topic 18. Okay, so let's start for the chapter 1. Chapter 1 is chemical formula and moles, which you have studied when you were grade 10. And then the second chapter is structure of the atoms. The third topic is chemical bonding in simple molecules, including the shapes of molecules. And then there is a solid, liquid and gases, or particular nature of particle. And then there is energy change in chemistry, which you learn in grade 10 about exothermic and endothermic. And there is also acid and bases, salt, which you had studied in grade 10. In grade 9 and grade 10 were the basic of the physical chemistry of grade 11. Okay, but the difference is in grade 11 we know deeper than what we learned in grade 10. Okay, let's see the first chapter. And also this AS level we are going to use also, which is called as data booklet. So this is the how it looks, the chemistry data booklet for AS and A level. We are going to use this data booklet, and also we are going to learn how to use the contents in this data booklet to help us to do the calculation and also solve all the theory parts in AS and A level. Okay, this one. Let's go back to the textbook. AS level physical chemistry, chapter 1, chemical formula and moles. In this topic, we introduce chemical formula and show you how this can work out using valencies of atoms or ions. We know valencies is the number of electrons in the outermost shell. And then the number of electrons in in the outermost shell is become the ion of that particular element. We also introduced the chemist fundamental counting unit, which is mole, and show you how it can be used to calculate both empirical and molecular formula and the amount of substances that react and are formed during chemical reactions. So in here there are many learning outcomes. By the end of this topic, we should be able to define and use the term of relative atomic mass, isotopic mass, molecular and formula masses based on the carbon-12 scale. Define and use the term mole in terms of Avogadro's constant. Define and use the term empirical and molecular formula. Calculate the empirical and molecular formula using combustion data or composition by mass. Write and construct balance equations, and then perform calculations including use of mole concept involving reacting masses, volume of gases, volumes and concentrations of solutions, and relate the number of significant figures in your answer to those given or asked for in the question. And then deduce the stoichiometric relationships from calculations such as in 1.5b learning outcome. Okay, let's start from the introduction. What is chemistry? You learned already about what is chemistry when you were grade 9 and grade 10. Chemistry is study of properties of matter. Matter, we mean substances that we can feel, touch, taste, and smell. The stuff that makes up the material world. Chemistry, as a modern science, began a few hundred years ago when chemists started to relate the observations they made about the substances they were investigating to the theories of the structure of matter. One of the most important of these theories was the atomic theory. It is just over 200 years since John Dalton put forward his idea of that all matter was composed of atoms. His theory, what are his theory? The theory, this one. Number one, the atoms of different elements were different from each other. Atoms of the particular element were identical to each other. All atoms stayed the same over time and could be neither created nor destroyed. It is the energy conservation law. And atoms, forever it will be the same. It is different from the meaning of isotopes. So, all matter was made up from a relatively small number of elements. Dalton thought about 50, combined in various ways. Although Dalton's theory has had to be modified slightly, it is still a useful starting point for the study of chemistry. As I said before, I mentioned about isotopes, different from atoms. Why? Because isotopes is atoms of the same element. It means atoms. Atoms, we know that in grade 10, we learn atoms that is determined from their proton number. So, different proton number of an atom tell us the different element in of an atom. And then next, let's continue to the next part. Since that time, chemists have uncovered and explained many of the world's mystery, from working out how elements are formed within stars to discovering how our genes replicate. And then on the way, they have discovered thousands of new methods of converting one substance into another and have made millions of new substances, many of which are great economic and medical benefit to the human race. Okay, classifying methods. So these are the some examples of the economic, medical, and agricultural benefits of chemistry. Next, classifying matter, elements, compounds, and mixtures. Chemists classify matter into one of these categories: elements, compounds, and also mixture. Let's see one by one. Elements contain just one sort of atom, although the atoms of particular element may differ slightly in mass. They all have the identical chemical reactions. Examples element include hydrogen gas, copper metal, and diamond, which are carbon. So these are the elements. Okay, so in here, all atoms, it says here in the elements, although all atoms of particular element may differ slightly in mass, they all have identical chemical reactions. What does it mean by this statement? This statement means about the isotopes. We know isotopes is atoms of the same element. Atoms of the same element meaning one element, example hydrogen. We know hydrogen containing three isotopes: hydrogen 1, hydrogen 2, and hydrogen 3. So all these three hydrogen atoms, they have the identical chemical reactions. Of course, they have different slightly in mass. Hydrogen 1, the mass is 1. Hydrogen 2, the mass is 2. And hydrogen 3, the mass is 3. But the number of protons remain the same. Okay, next, compounds. Compounds are made up of atoms of two or more different elements bonded together chemically. The ratio of the elements within a particular compound is fixed. Example, when we see in Indonesia or in any other countries, such as in Philippines, in America, in India, formula of water is always H2O, meaning there are two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atoms, wherever the place is, and is given by its chemical formula. Water is H2O. Chemical formula is H2O. The chemical and physical properties of a compound are always different from the constituent elements. Examples: compounds include sodium chloride. We know sodium chloride contains sodium and chlorine. We know sodium reacts with water, it causes explosion. And chlorine is gaseous at room temperature and pressure. But when sodium and chlorine react together, they will form sodium chloride, which is solid and does not reactive with water. And then there is also water containing hydrogen and oxygen atoms. Hydrogen is gas. Oxygen is also gas, but when they react together, they will form liquid, which is not reactive to fire. And then there is penicillin containing hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur atoms. This combination of the constituent gases will not able to effectively kill yeast or molds. But for penicillin, after these constituent elements combine chemically, it is able to kill molds. Now the third part is mixtures. Mixture consists of more than one compound or element mixed but not chemically combined. So mixture still has the property the physical and chemical properties of the constituent elements. This is the difference between mixture and compounds. And then there is intensive and extensive properties. The property of matter can be divided into two groups, extensive properties and intensive properties. Extensive properties depends on how much matter we are studying. Common examples are mass and volume. A cup full of water has less mass and less volume than a swimming pool. This is an extensive. And then the other group is called intensive, which do not depend on how much matter we have. Example include temperature, color, and density, which is from the nature, the inside of the element or material. The chemical properties of substance is included as intensive. A small or large lump of sodium will react in the same way with either a cupful or jugful of water. In each case, it will give off steam and hydrogen gas and produce an alkaline solution in the water. Okay, there is an here oil drop experiment, as you can read here in your own textbook. Okay, so we can here find the number of the volume and then also the thickness of the particle. Next, the size of atoms and molecules, 1.3. Just as we believe that elements are composed of identical atoms, so we also believe that compounds are made up of many identical units. These units are smallest entities that still retain the chemical properties of the compound. They are called as molecules or ions. Depending on how the substance is bonded together, molecules contain two or more atoms bound together. The atoms may be of the same element or different elements, such as water H2O that contains two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Ions are atoms or group of atoms that has gained or loses an electron. And ion carries an electrical charge. It can be positive ion, can be negative ion. Because molecules are made up of atoms, this means that atoms must be even smaller than oil molecule. We can measure the size of an atom by various techniques, including X-ray crystallography. A carbon atom is found to have a diameter of 0.15 nanometer. It means it takes 6 million carbon atoms touching one another to reach a length of only 1 millimeter. So we know that how small the size of an atom is. Standard form. In chemistry, the numbers we have to write in standard form. I'm sure that you learned already standard form when you studied mathematics already. So in standard form, it's like the example here, table 1.1, fully written out, equivalent 600. So standard form is 6 times 10 to the power of 2. And then there are 3 other examples here. The standard form, how we should write in chemical calculations. If the next significant figures. In mathematics, numbers are exact quantities. In contrast, the numbers used in chemistry usually represent physical quantities, which is a chemist measures. The accuracy of the measurement is shown by the number of significant figure to which the quantity is quoted. If we weigh a small coin on a digital kitchen scale, the machine may tell us that it has mass of 4 grams. 1 decimal place balance will show its mass 3.5, whereas 2 decimal balance 3.50. We should interpret the reading on the kitchen scale as meaning that the mass of coin lies between 3.5 and 4.5, which is included as 4. If it were just a little lighter than 3.5, the scale would have told us that the mass is 3 grams. If it were little heavier than 4.5, it will read out a mass of 5 grams. The 1 decimal place balance narrows the range, telling us the mass of the coin is between 3.45 and 3.55. The 2 decimal place balance narrows it further to 3.495 and 3.505. In this way, the number of significant figure 1, 2, 3 above examples tells us the accuracy with which the quantity has been measured. Most chemical balances and volumetric equipment will measure quantities to 3 or significant figures, allowing for accumulation of errors when values are calculated, so in 2 or 3. In chemistry, AS and A level, Cambridge wants us to write in 3 significant figures. So I emphasize in 3 significant figures. Now, masses of atoms and molecules. Being so small, atoms are also very light. Their mass range from 1 times 10 power of negative 24 grams to 1 times 10 power of negative 22 grams, which is very, very small. And then how heavy an atom of compound with another. So this is the meaning of the relative atomic mass of an element. One mass of atom E compared to the mass of one atom hydrogen. Why is it hydrogen? Because hydrogen is the lightest element, so the relative atomic mass of all other elements is greater than 1, which is convenient. Because the existence of isotopes and the central importance of carbon is in the masses of organic compounds, the modern definitions uses the isotope carbon-12 as the standard of reference. This is carbon exists in all of the organic compounds that we know. In almost all of the organic compounds, such as like protein contains carbon, and then in carbohydrate contains carbon, in vitamin contains carbon, in fat contains carbon. Okay, next. The difference between the two definitions is small. Since carbon-12 atom has almost exactly 12 times an average of hydrogen atom, relative atomic mass is given by the symbol Ar. Since it is the ratio of two masses, it is dimensionless quantity. It has no unit. We should looking at the isotopes relative atomic mass. The masses of atoms and subatomic particles often expressed in atomic mass unit. The atomic mass unit, or AMU, defined as 1 by 12 of the mass of one atom of carbon-12. It has the value of 1.6606 times 10 of 20 to the power of negative 24. So here we see all the, since we know that if the relative atomic mass of helium is 4, which is 1/3 of the relative atomic mass of carbon, we can deduce that the identical masses of helium and carbon will always contain 3 times as helium atoms as the carbon atoms. Okay, this is the definition of an atomic mass. Now, the mole. Chemists deal with real measured quantities of substances. Rather than counting atoms individually, we prefer to count them in units that are easily measurable. The gram is convenient size unit, although it is not the SI unit. We know the SI unit of mass is kilogram. The chemists use amount, mole. The symbol MOL, mole, is defined as in terms of grams. 1 mole of an element is the amount that contains the same number of atoms as there are 12 grams in carbon 12. So 1 mole. 1 mole containing 1 mole of carbon contains 12 grams of carbon 12. Okay, the mass of 1 mole is called molar mass, MR. It is numerically equal to its relative atomic mass, which we know already in grade 10 about periodic table. Relative atomic mass of carbon is 12. The molar mass of carbon is 12 grams per mole. We know that relative atomic mass doesn't have unit, but the molar mass has unit. Why? Because molar mass means the mass per 1 mole. So mass of carbon, the molar mass of carbon is 12 grams per 1 mole. And also magnesium is the molar mass of magnesium is 24 grams per mole. Okay, here from the above definition we know that formula mole equals to mass by molar mass. So mass by molar mass. And then we saw on the previous page the actual masses of atoms are very small. We would therefore expect the number of atoms in a mole of element to be very large. This is indeed the case. 1 mole of an element contains staggering 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 atoms. This is called as the Avogadro's constant. What does it mean? It means that 1 mole of any element containing 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 atoms or particles. So the relationship between moles, particles, and atoms described here. Number of atoms equals to the Avogadro's constant times number of moles. Next, atomic symbol and formula. Each element has its unique symbol. We note from the periodic table the symbol of hydrogen element is H, and then the other elements has its own specific symbol, as we know in periodic table. Symbols are combined to make up the formula of compounds. If more than one atom of a particular element is present, its symbol followed by subscript giving the number. This is how to make the chemical formula. Okay, like the formula of sodium nitrate is NaNO3. You have learned already in grade 9 how to make the chemical formula, and also you know already how to name the polyatomic ion and also the formula of a chemical formed from an element or ion and also with polyatomic ion. Next, this one here, let's continue. Moles and compounds. Relative molecular mass and relative formula mass. You know already the difference between relative molecular mass and relative formula mass. Relative molecular mass refer to the mass of a molecule. This one, first, like ethanol, alcohol, first we need to calculate the relative molecular mass. Relative molecular mass is the addition of the relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass. Just as the relative atomic mass, the values of relative molecular mass are ratios of masses have no units. The molar mass, it has unit. Molar mass are called as molecular mass. Then formula mass, what is the difference between formula mass and molecular mass? Both of them refers to the same calculation, addition of atomic mass. The difference is molecular mass based on molecule, formula mass based on formula. The difference is molecule comes from covalent bonding, while formula mass is coming from ionic bonding. But both of them usually refer to the same. So later when we calculate, usually the question asks what is the molecular mass of a certain compound or molecule, because they refer to the same methods of calculation, they refer to the same meaning. Okay, a mole of what? When dealing with compounds, we need to define clearly what the word mole refers to. A mole of water contains 6 times 10 power of 23 molecules of H2O, but because each molecule contains 2 hydrogen atoms, a mole of water contains 2 moles of hydrogen atoms, which is 12 times 10 power of 23 hydrogen atoms. Likewise, a mole of sulfuric acid contains 2 moles of hydrogen atoms, 1 mole of sulfur atoms, and 4 moles of oxygen atoms. A mole of calcium chloride containing twice the number of chloride ions as does a mole of sodium chloride. Sometimes this also applies to element. The phrase 1 mole of chlorine is ambiguous. 1 mole of chlorine molecules contains 6 times 10 to the power of 23 Cl2 units, but also contain 12 times 10 power of 23 chlorine atoms. So here 1 mole of chlorine molecules. So we have to note that the 1 mole of chlorine molecules, the formula of molecules is Cl2. But chlorine atoms, how many chlorine atoms in 1 chlorine molecule? There are 2 atoms. So the number of atoms is 12 times 10 to the power of 23. And then there is an empirical and chemical and molecular formula. You know already how to calculate empirical and molecular formula of a compound in a chemical calculation. So until now we are studying from chapter 1 until 1.8 empirical formula and molecular formula. Next time we continue with the continuation from 1.8, and then next time we study 1.9 until all the theories finish, and then we continue. In every class we are going to have an exercise, so I hope you have seen and watched the video of explanation before we have an online class.